What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Paper Planes channel. This is my Dark Souls 2 Ultimate walkthrough. We're going to tap the bonfire here, and we're going to travel to the gutter. So we've only got one bonfire open right now, so we'll go ahead and visit that one, of course. Whoa! Shit's falling already. I love when you go back into a zone and all of a sudden stuff just starts falling, like dead bodies, things like that. It's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna attune some magic here before we do anything else. Get rid of those two, those three actually. Gonna put our second Great Soul Arrow, and now we're going to make sure that we've got our cast light spell, and then we might as well put one of these regular soul arrows in case we need to kill some pots or something weak. Okay, so go ahead and make sure that we've got the right rings on. Okay, those look good. Now the main thing in this area is it's going to be really dark, so we're going to need to use cast light and also use our torch in most situations. So to do that, all you do is go up to a bonfire and you hit toggle, and then you're going to light torch. And we're just going to move towards sconces when we see them and light them up. Sweet, some dung pie. That might be the first dung pie we picked up in this playthrough, so probably need to explain some of that. There it is. Alright, so the dung pie is a large excrement, still rather warm. Seriously? Throw at enemy to cause rapid onset of poison, but you too will be subjected to the same bane. Most warriors are loath to... What? That doesn't make any sense, but I'll read it like it says. Most warriors are loath to come near a thing like this, much less carry it around, but therein lies the advantage. Why are we carrying dung pie? I don't know. I never really use this, but it is something that you can use, and it is pretty effective actually, but I never think to use it. Okay, so we're gonna cross this bridge here. Now we've got... Oh shit, I forgot to tell you about that. Oh, the doggy came down here. That's not nice. Bad doggy. Alright, so these dogs are actually really powerful, so you need to be careful. Thankfully, sometimes they like to circle about. They're not very aggressive, but they have really strong combat maneuvers, and you're not going to be holding your shield up while you're holding the torch, so yeah. That rooftop falls, and we really didn't miss out on anything up there because we're going to return to that area as well, but the thing about that is I was wanting to light the sconce first. But that's okay. It's not really a big deal if you light these. I just do it just in case you die. It helps to tell you where you've been and where to find places off in the distance. So after we light that one sconce, we're going to take a running jump to this area across the way here. Now, the bad thing about this place is anytime you kill an enemy, for the most part, their loot is going to drop through the surface. So in certain areas, you'll be able to pick that stuff up later, but in a place like this, there's nothing below it, and you're kind of screwed there. The wall looks pretty damn awesome, actually. This area is really cool. It's one of the first zones where if you're not using a torch, you're really nervous about what you're going to come up across. So we'll climb up this ladder real quick. Light this. Now in this room is a big locked door. We don't need to go in there right now. We'll deal with that a little bit later. Much later, not even in this episode. Okay, so we're going to cross this here, and there is nothing in this area except for that hole. So you can go destroy these statues, but there's no reason to, really. So we're going to drop down. Take a look around. Alright, so you get this opening here, and there's going to be a doggy on the other side of this wall. Oh, that might have been the... Oh, wait, never mind. I was going to say that might have been the dog that jumped down earlier, but that couldn't have happened. Get this guy to just... He's not going to play nice, so we'll go ahead and kill him so we can get to the dog easier. These remind me of the dogs in Ghostbusters. Prisoner's gloves. That's just a random drop. Now go destroy these pots here. Dark pyromancy flame. This is going to be good. We'll check that out. Actually, before we get into that, we've got some enemies down here in the way, so we need to kill them before I start reading anything. You always want to approach a zombie, even if it's laying on the ground, and try to kill it. Some of them you can't actually interact with. They're just straight up dead bodies, and they never reanimate. But you always want to find out before you have to find out the hard way. So anyways, let's go to that dark pyromancy flame. There it is. And you see here we have 2 pyromancy flames now, so you can actually dual wield pyromancy if you needed to. But this flame is slightly improved over the other one. A flame catalyst used by pyromancers. Pyromancers rouse this flame to produce various fire arts. The flame rewards those with a thirst for power. The more hollowed one is, the stronger its effect. Spell power scales with hollowing. So this is a special effect that the other one does not have. You can see that's a pretty significant difference. And also you'll see that the fire damage is scaling with a level A on this, and it's a level S on this one. So S is actually better in this instance. So now you know what that's all about. The weird thing about a place like this that has multi-tiered levels, like there's a lot of north and south as well as east and west, the sounds are really hard to identify at certain junctures. So you have to be pretty careful with that kind of stuff. Now, even though a lot of these surfaces look like they'd probably collapse, there's not too many zones, or there's not too many floor surfaces in this area that will actually break. We've probably actually encountered all of them at this point, if I remember correctly. But there are a lot of gaps. So you definitely have to pay attention to the gaps in the floors. Alright, so one thing you're going to see here is we're encounter lots of statues at certain points. And the statues are actually poison spitting enemies essentially, so you need to be careful about them. You don't want to be facing them when you're attacking because they're going to interrupt your attack and also build up your poison, so you have to be cautious about that kind of stuff. Alright, so you've got 2 different ways to go here. You can try to make a leaping jump at that bridge, but I don't recommend that. Or we're going to drop down here. And we've got 2 of these statues. Then we'll light this sconce here. And you can hear there's enemies. Shit. I didn't see him in time, but always be aware of that guy. And then his buddy is going to follow. You should probably not light a sconce until you've eliminated the enemies that you're aware of already. That was my mistake. So there's going to be a dog at the end of this bridge, as well as a standard enemy up top above him. So if you see one of them and they start approaching, you can go ahead and move back a little bit. Now that second guy that we just killed actually came from above. Now the dogs I like to attack with sorceries. So make sure that you target them and then just use your sorceries from range. Makes life so much easier. And primarily that's just because we can't use our shield in combat when we're holding the torch. So that's really the biggest issue there. You got 2 of those statues there. Now as long as you see them in time, it's pretty easy to avoid getting hit by those. So you can see the guy with the torch off in the distance. We'll go ahead and climb up the ladder here. We'll have plenty of time to light this sconce. He's going to climb up the ladder to come get us. You always want to keep combat away from wooden chests. Oh, no, I don't want to climb. Okay, so now we'll open up this chest here. It's not a trap. It's not a trap. Some black fire bombs, those are always useful. And we're just going to drop down here. And now we're going to walk towards the edge here and slowly walk off this. There we go. We got an enemy down below. And you can circle here and there's really nothing going on. You see that sconce, but we can get to that a little bit later. What the hell? I just hate how they keep moving after they're dead. So this guy's playing possum. You step close enough to him, he's going to wake up. Go ahead and light the sconce. And you can see when I killed him, he dropped an item, and now it just fell below him. So that's what I'm talking about. It's really annoying. There's lots of things that just drop through this flooring system. Here we get the Pyromancy armor set. This is a pretty good set here, so we'll go ahead and take a look at just the chest piece, really. Alright, so the tattered cloth robe. A robe favored by pyromancers. It appears tattered, but in fact its fabric is reinforced with pyromancy. Magic is no show. It is an art that allows mere mortals to glimpse into the very fabric of what is and may be. Now we can drop down to the right here. You want to use this corner because that statue there hanging on the rope is going to spit at us if we don't. You can see these enemies just hanging on the edge there. If we move forward a little bit, we'll have more space to engage them. You can see we got 2 more guys up ahead of us, and there's going to be one above us that's going to climb down the ladder as we climb up it. So you don't want to go up the ladder until that enemy has been killed. The bad thing about climbing a ladder with an enemy above you is they'll kick you from the top down and you'll fall, and it's pretty much going to kill you depending on how far the fall distance is. So there we get the Ring of the Evil Eye, and that's just the first one. That's not the +1 that we already have. So it's actually a lesser version of the Ring of the Evil Eye that we have currently. So I'm going to show you what we're talking about. So here you see there's a standard one that we just picked up, and then we have the +1 that we had from earlier. So it's really pointless. I don't think you can wear 2 of these at the same time. Yeah, you can't. Anytime you've got like a +1 or a +2 ring, you can only use one or the other. You can't wear them both at the same time and stack the effect. So just remember that. Let's see. I want to put my rings back on. The Chloranthy ring, and then I had the spell ring there. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and climb back up this ladder. Now this ladder's really tall, so you're going to run out of stamina a couple times, but there's no more enemies here waiting for you since we just killed that last guy. So remember, do not climb the ladder until you've killed the enemy that descends the ladder. Okay, go ahead and light this. Alright, we're going to circle around here, and there's a bad dude just waiting for us. You can actually hear those guys, their chains just kind of jingle, so it's really easy to notice when they're around. Go ahead and light this torch. Now, if you're worried about being stuck here, you can actually jump up on top of this. Well, didn't work there, but you definitely can do it. There you go. Now there's just an item down below, and we're going to grab that. So we get 2 flame butterflies. It's not really a necessity, but I like to pick it up anyways, especially in a walkthrough like this where I'm just showing you everything. Alright, so you can see we've got an enemy over there. And we can't really get to him from that side, so we're going to have to drop down. I don't know why we never killed that guy. Guess I didn't notice him in the first point. Alright, so now we're going to cross this bridge. Now we've got lots of statues here, so you need to be careful. Okay, light the sconce. Now this whole area is really complex. There's tons of stuff to do here. So it's really easy to get lost. Alright. So now we're on the top side of this bridge. Now you got to be careful. You see this hole here, you're going to fall through it if you're not paying attention, and you don't want to be down there with those dogs. Now, the reason the dog is usually up top, but it at some point fell through the hole, and I would say that it's probably just as common as finding it up top. So if you don't see the dog down below, it's up here, and it'll probably fall in the hole once it targets you. So it's not a bad thing, of course. It's nice that it's there, but can deal with that at another time. We're going to come across here, light this sconce. Now we've got to deal with some enemies in here, and the enemies that are wielding the dark weapons actually are much more powerful than they usually are. So you have to be aware of that, especially since you're not using your shield. We're gonna pick up a shield in here. Come on, baby. Give me what you got. Wicked Eye Great Shield. Let's go ahead and check that out. Oops. This shield looks really cool. I remember seeing this artwork a long time ago. It's the Wicked Eye Great Shield. A great shield with an unsettling design covered in the prints of countless hands. The true origins of the shield is unknown. No amount of polishing can clear its face of the mysterious handprints, and its effect is hit point observed. So just like the Wicked Eye Ring, it does the same thing here. So we can actually take a look at the rest of its stats. You can see, even though it's a great shield, it only does 80 physical damage reduction, so that's not really good, especially for a great shield. It's always frustrating to me when I pick up a great shield because I fully expect that every time it should have 100 physical resistance, but that's not the case here, and it requires a shit ton of strength, 31 strength. So for what you have to invest in the shield, you would think that you would get that maximum physical resistance, but it does have some pretty good all-around stats, but it's just, I don't know. The trade-off is the health absorption, which is okay, but I would rather have that 100% physical damage reduction than anything else. So we'll light this sconce here. And we're going to come back to this area. Don't worry about killing that dog yet. We've still got some other stuff we need to take care of. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna kill this dog from up top. And you'll see where I gotta get my bearings. Kind of spun around right now. Ah, there we are. Okay, so there's lots of these poison statues here, and if you're trying to figure out where it is, it's located at the corner by this sconce. So all of these statues down below, we need to kill them, and a good way to do that is to actually use your fire bombs. So I know we picked up a couple of them earlier in this episode, so you should at least have 3 black fire bombs if you don't have anything else. So go ahead and switch to that in your inventory, and then use your action button. Kill that first one, and then aim high and a little bit to the left. And those are the 3 that we want to kill. So all the others were totally fine. We can work on those when we land down there. But basically we're going to back up a little bit. Make sure that you can see the platform ahead of you. And then we're going to jump down there. So the problem is with entering from down here, you can see we can jump from that platform onto this. But if you haven't destroyed these statues yet, then you've got to deal with some serious risk of getting poisoned while you're in midair and then falling to your death, or just getting poisoned, period. So we avoid that altogether. Now there's nothing over there that really matters, so we don't have to worry about backtracking or anything like that. Lighting this sconce, kill this statue, and then we've got one more sconce, and then we'll tap this bonfire and return back to the previous one as well. So because we haven't been using our torch for at any point really, we've got so much time on it that you don't really need to be in any kind of rush to get around through this zone. You just need to take your time and make sure that you're hitting all the areas that you want. So we're going to go back to the upper gutter. Yes, I know some of you are going to comment that I shaved my beard and I'm just regrowing it out. So settle down. Settle down, peoples. Alright, so now that we're back at the main bonfire, we're going to go ahead and toggle again and relight our torch. And we're going to go ahead and go in a different direction now. Instead of dropping down here like we did at the beginning, we'll go ahead and light this, and then we're going to head across the second bridge. And you can see where that dog came from the first time, and now he's heading over here already. This guy really wants to play. He doesn't always pursue like he is right now. Sometimes he just hangs out around there until you get close enough. So it's really weird. The behavior is not very consistent on how they act in each playthrough that you'll do. Okay, so you can see whenever you look around, you'll be able to see the areas that you've previously been to because of these sconces that we've been lighting. So it helps you get an idea of where you are in the grand scheme of this level. Now you see there that enemy just kind of appeared, and that's one of the bad things about this level design, is some of these enemies really don't register until very late. We got one behind us. I thought I killed that guy. I don't know why my second hit didn't work. Now this statue here, we can still kill it, but you have to line it up right because you're going to do like a underhand sweep. So it's kind of hard to hit sometimes. There you go. You almost like have to not aim at it directly to hit it the way that you want to. So you're going to have this statue here and a couple undead. Kill this one first. I don't think this guy comes to life. Nope. So now we'll light this. And there's going to be some enemies down below. So when you drop down here, be ready for that. You want to kill the ones that are up top as quickly as possible. And then kind of circle around if you need to. Of course, be careful about that. can pick up some of this loot. And there's still going to be some more enemies up here. They just haven't decided to aggro yet. They like to hang on the ledges. So we'll have to take care of them as we move across. So when we come here, we'll kill this statue. It's a pretty insignificant statue actually, but I think it's meant to draw your attention over here. And it's what happens when you do get over here. Make sure there's nothing behind us. Now we're going to drop down here. And then basically you can just run forward. And we'll drop down again. Now I believe there's a sconce on the outside of this, so we'll light that. There we go. And now we're going to climb this ladder. It's going to take us to the top of this little shack area. Light the last sconce on this unit. You see that statue there, so if you want to kill it, just do it through the wall. And now we'll run and jump. When we jump up here, we're going to get invaded. Now, the thing that you don't need to worry about this invader is where we're standing right now, we're totally safe. So we can take our time as far as the invader is concerned. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than it should. So from here, we're just going to run forward into that hollow space. Going to loot this chest here. You can see we get some twinkling titanite and 3 small smooth silky stones. So that's a good grab right there. Now if you land on this other level here, there's nothing here. So I'm just showing you guys that because I know a lot of you will fall through that one floor and you'll think that you might have missed something, but in fact you don't. So after you land down at the bottom, we're going to climb back up to the top. You can see that's where the invader's standing way down there. And they'll try to make their way over to us, but they never actually get to you successfully. So from this point, if you wanted to get rid of your torch, you could actually attack them. You could come down here and do it. It depends. I mean, they're always going to end up in different spaces. You can see it's moving, trying to get to us, but they never really get to us from here. Don't know why we lost them. Oh, come on. There we go. Vanished. Let's see if we get anything extra. Sometimes it takes a little moment for their loot to hit you. There we go. Human effigy. Alright, so we're just going to come back over here. And this is the same area that we were before. And now we're going to drop down to the left. Put your sword back on. Smash these pots. Pick up the item. Make sure there's nothing following us. It's always a good idea to look behind you. And we'll drop down at this bonfire here. Now be careful when you drop off this thing. Don't drop off the very left end or you're going to fall and die just next to this bonfire and it'll piss you off. Also, we got a little bit lucky with the invading NPC there. They pretty much approached us in an ideal situation where we could range attack and kill them from the plateau there. It's not always going to happen, and most oftentimes they're going to wait for you until you get on that wooden platform in front of us, and then they're going to start chasing after you. So after you destroy these vases, you're going to land on this platform here and just wait to fight the invader by the bonfire, just in case you die. That way you've got an easy way to pick up your souls. The problem with the bonfire is when something's invaded you, you can't actually use the bonfire. So we actually make our way back here anyways, but it's good to stay here until you've vanquished the invader, or the invader just goes home on their own. So because we have killed the invader, we can tap the bonfire. And now we're going to continue on. You can see, of course, we reset the enemies. That's okay. Go ahead and kill that puppy. Sorry, pup. And then we'll just drop down here. Try not to get poisoned. God damn it, I can't believe I fucking missed that twice. Back up a little bit. There's the other dog. I was wondering where he was hanging out. I think we might have something behind us. I can't tell. I'm hearing the sound of a bridge and a dog at the same time, but I don't want to turn around while I'm doing auto target. Okay, good. The problem with being on a bridge is if you do auto target and you start to move around, you're gonna probably get yourself killed. Let's come over here so we can fight this guy away from the spitting statues. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, the ground one. Alright, so when I get poisoned, I like to use a life gem just because it kind of keeps the poison from continuing on much further. And we pretty much have a surplus of life gems. We have so many of those damn things. Once that wears off, we'll use another one to finish the healing process. And I'm going to climb up here. Got another doggy there, and this time you see the dog is actually up top. It hasn't fallen through that hole yet. Now there could also be an undead hanging out up top as well. Oh. Okay, so what we're going to do now is make our way over here like we did before. Now remember, there's some enemies in here, so you got to be careful. But it's best to clear it out, because they will pursue you. Okay. Now we're going to come to this edge. Ah, stupid. Sometimes I forget because I've already killed them before, but they reset. It'd be great if the statues didn't reset. Now if the dog is out of your range, like he's under this platform and you can't target him, just wait. He's gonna eventually move out of there, so you'll be able to range kill him. I just think it's the best way to go about it. You don't necessarily want to get down there and melee with it, because there's not a lot of areas to move, and it can push you off the top all on its own. When you're in an area like this, do not roll to destroy the vases. You don't want to do that. You could easily roll off. You never know if there's a hole underneath it or not, so you just have to be cautious. Now there's some poison beetles in here, so of course you can use your range. Now this thing looks scary, but just go to the front of it. It doesn't actually have any way to attack you, just that poison mist, and that's all. So we'll go ahead and kill out the statues and grab these items before we do any of that. So we get some poison moss from both of these things, and then we just sit here and hack away at this. You can see its health bar up high if you're wondering how much damage you're causing to it. Let some stamina rebuild there. So after we kill it, you see you don't get much reward from it, just a poison moss and 300 souls, so you decide if that's worth it to you or not. But it is also a good thing because I dual wielded. That was stupid. What was I talking about? That dual wielding thing just screwed me up. Anyways, it's good to kill that enemy just so you know about it, and also you can get that poison moss, and poison moss is worth more than 300 souls, so just going up here and you get 5 poison moss from that battle altogether, so it's definitely worth it. So this is why I equipped or attuned cast light, just in case I ended up in a situation where I didn't remember to light my torch, or I dual wielded or switched to my shield on accident. So now we have this. Of course we could use our butterflies to spark our torch if we needed to, but it's not necessary when we have this sorcery available to us. So when we come in here, we're going to kill all the statues around. There's so many ladders in this place that don't just climb down any single one of them. Wait until we clear this area, and I'm going to show you which one to choose. So just keep navigating through here. Be able to get a few items while we're up here. When your spell runs out, recast it. Or of course, if you still got your torch up, even better. Now, if you don't know where we are, we're very close to the bonfire that we lit the second time. So if for whatever reason you die in this zone, that's where you're going to want to transport to. You can see it, it's right there through the wall. You can see the problem with some of these ladders is there's a pretty significant hole before them, so you can actually fall if you're not paying attention, and that's never a good thing. Okay, so I want to make sure that we've cleared up all these spots up here. It looks like it. Okay, so now I'm going to get your bearings right so you know where we're at when we enter again. So this is where the fog gate was, and when we come through here, we're going to go a little bit to the right and go all the way over here. And it's the ladder where there was a couple pots, and it's up against the wall. And you're going to get down to this platform. Now there's an enemy there. I know it's dark, but kill the enemy, redo our spell, go to the edge here and drop down where those pots are. Be careful when you're moving through here. These platforms are pretty small, and there's a long way to go if you fall. So we're going to fall down on this other little edge here, and then down below that, loot this chest. It's not a trap, don't worry. They've been pretty kind to us so far. They haven't put any trapped chests or mimics on these small platforms, so we'll see how long that trend continues. So we did pick up a club. Let's check it out. It's actually a pretty big one. I can't remember if we just grabbed a large club or the great club. I want to say we picked up the large club, but either way, you can see here they're pretty much similar. One has a higher strength requirement than an... Oh shit, where the fuck did he come from? Jesus, my health was low too. Okay, he actually climbed up the ladder. So that's what you get for reading and sharing. Damn, that was close. That would have been a really shitty death right there. I would have been quite pissed. So you guys missed out on some rage. So now down below there are some really tough enemies because they're going to be wielding dark weapons. So you want to kill them as quickly as possible. Try to keep them separate from each other. If you get into basically like a herd of them, just 2 hits will most likely kill you, so you have to be aware of that stuff. $20 life gems. See what I'm saying? We have so many healing wares that using some of these healing tools like rings and whatnot, that's going to keep us with higher health. It's almost pointless at this juncture in the game. So we did pick up a new spell. It's a dark fog. And it's a hex, of course. And the dark fog is a hex that releases a temporary localized mist. Those who breathe in the mist are instantly assailed by poison. This hex is regarded as a poison due to the outward symptoms, but in fact the mist eats away at the target's inner essence. just the traits that led to the prohibition of hexing. So you need a staff to actually use this, so it goes well with sorcerers. And you can see here that it's got an actual 2 attunement slot requirement, so it's not very good in that sense. And it's also got a high 25 intelligence requirement and a 14 faith requirement, and it only gives you 4 uses. Not that you really need a whole lot of uses for this, but because it takes up 2 attunement slots, it's kind of upsetting that it only gives you 4 uses. So this is probably something that you won't use just because of the requirement of the attunement slots. So we'll cast that spell, and don't melee kill these pots. It's going to actually destroy your gear. So what you want to do is switch to something like the soul arrow, something really simple. Oops. You're actually going to need to destroy all of them except for that one to my right. That one is irrelevant, doesn't matter. And make sure that you've got a lot of health before you fall down. Loot this guy. The fragrant branch of yore, of course, that's very important to us. And you can light this sconce if you still have your torch up. Otherwise, just move ahead. There's nothing to be afraid of here. Now, these are the same statues as before, but they've just got this green stuff on them. They can't actually hit us from where we're standing, so it's okay. But you can still destroy them just the same. They just have a different kind of aesthetic approach to them in this level. So here we are, and we're entering the Black Gulch. Now this is the point where I'm going to stop, so we're still going to stay here with our souls on us. So this is the end of the episode, everybody. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Stay tuned for the next upload. It'll be up soon. And as always, leave a comment in the section below if you have any questions or concerns. Click that thumbs up button if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. I just set up my Twitch account, and I'm going to start doing some live streams there. So it's just twitch.tv/paperplanes channel. You can find me there, so be sure to follow me and stay tuned for all of that stuff as well. Take it easy. Peace out. Hey guys, thank you so much for visiting my channel. I know there's lots of awesome content on YouTube, and it really means a lot you chose to view my videos. I hope you enjoyed them and will join me on my other social media accounts. And of course, subscribe here to become a part of the Paper Planes YouTube community.